Hey everybody, IcyCat here once again. The closed beta is right around the corner. It's going to be a lot of fun, but there's also going to be some pretty fierce competition. Unlike other first-person shooters, Rainbow Six is more about strategy and execution than it is reflexes and reaction. And if you're on a team that doesn't understand that, then you're going to get outplayed by better teams that know what they're doing. So to give you that advantage, I'm going to share with you my top 10 tips for surviving the beta. We'll go over 5 tips for getting the edge as the attackers, and 5 tips for surviving as the defenders. Assaulting a structure in Siege can be tricky. You'll encounter traps, fortifications, barricades, and that's not even counting the guys with guns that will be trying to take you out while they defend the objective, and they can usually see you coming. Let's start our first tip there. Number 1. As you approach the structure, your movements will be tracked by a competent team of defenders using the surveillance systems found on each map. Start by taking these out to hide your approach. Get familiar with where they are in each level. There's a couple outside, and you'll run into more inside as well. There's usually one camera on every floor of the interior structure, so remember to look up on the ceilings. A single shot will take the cameras offline and allow your team's movements to remain hidden as you approach. Denying the defender's surveillance is a key to keeping your team safe, as they won't know where to expect you, giving you the advantage. Number 2. Coordinate your breaches. When facing a team of defenders that are very well entrenched, they're gonna be ready for you to come in and you'll go down fast if you're not careful. An uncoordinated attack will most likely fail if your team enters the objective area at different times or from different directions. You'll make it more likely to be picked off. Better to divide your forces and if possible assault the objective from 2 angles, but the key is to synchronize your assaults so they happen at the same time. Place a breaching charge, thermite device, or cluster charge on a wall or door and wait for the other members of your team to do the same. Breach simultaneously and pinch them in the middle. Just watch your crossfire. If possible, try to make your breaches at 90 degrees to each other so you're not shooting in the direction of friendlies with stray rounds that miss. Number 3. Control the exterior. Approaching the structure gives you a lot of opportunities besides just taking out cameras. Even if your drones didn't manage to find the objective on the preparation phase, you can often see where the enemy team is dug in by seeing the window barricades on the outside. Having a sharpshooter on your squad is useful here as well. Someone with a good assault rifle in semi-automatic mode paired up with an ACOG-style scope can stay back and provide cover for the approaching team. If defenders are still barricading any windows, you can rack up some early kills this way too. Even if you don't have someone with longer range ability, you can still use this tactic with suppressive fire. Using an LMG to cover the approach may not be as accurate, but you should be able to throw enough lead at a door or window if any of the enemy try to take shots at your teammates on their approach. Number 4. Get the most from your drones. Mobile drones are an advantage the defenders just don't have. You always know where their cameras will be, but they don't know where yours will come from or when. Stealth is important so your drones don't get shot. Try to stay underneath things like desks and shelves. The thing that attracts attention to drones is almost always fast movement. Also remember your drones can jump on anything that's about waist height. Get a camera on a shelf or desk where they might not think to look for it, and then don't move. If you're in a good spot, they'll never see you, and you'll have a better angle of view. Remember, you can throw out more than one if you lose your first. Don't forget to scan with your drone and light up those tags for your teammates to use. The most important thing to remember is where your drone is will also be the place that any dead teammates will be able to continue to give your team intel from. But they can't control them, so if you leave it in a bad spot, they'll have no way to give you good information. Even if you're not going to use another one, throw one out in a good vantage spot anyway, and get it into enough of a position that friendlies can give you intel using your own camera while you make the assault. Number 5. Use effective distractions. Time and again, I've watched people use the remote breaching charges as distractions to make the defenders think they're coming in a certain way when they're not. But they do it so badly. They'll place the charge and blow it, and then run around to another position to enter. Meanwhile, 45 seconds have gone by. Nobody thinks you're still coming from the direction of your distraction anymore, and then you're amazed when they were ready and waiting for you. This seems really obvious, and yet I've watched people do it over and over again. Instead, go ahead and place your distraction charge, but don't trigger it until after you've gotten into an alternative position and are ready to strike. When you're ready, blow the fake charge, give it a 2 or 3 second delay, and then make your assault from the new, unexpected position. Distractions are great, but only if you use them wisely. Attacking is one thing, but what about when you're on the receiving end of an assault? How do you hold out and survive against a team that is coming to dig you out and hunt you down? Attackers can do a lot of things that defenders can't, but likewise you have lots of unique tricks up your sleeve to repel an assault and stand your ground. So what's the best way to do that when playing defense? Number 1, deny the intel. While they can go around shooting all your cameras and there's nothing you can do about it, you can effectively stop their cameras from becoming a problem as well. Using a combination of Mute's jammers and Bandit's electrified shock wire, you should be able to cover every doorway and vent and prevent the drones from getting a peek at you in the first place. If you decide to take this approach, forget about putting up your barricades and reinforcements until after you place your devices. Those drones aren't waiting for you. They need to be intercepted now. There's plenty of time to contribute to placing fixed defenses when you're done. Let your teammates take care of that until you can join them. Just let them know you're doing so. Number 2, hold your zones. While defense can be played aggressively, most frequently it's played by entrenching and fortifying a position. Everyone needs to communicate the area that they're covering and stick to it. If possible, set up overlapping fields of fire so that a teammate can easily turn and assist you. Everyone should focus on a specific zone and call out when they have action. Zones of control can be shaped using things like reinforced fortifications and deployable shields, as well as existing elements like non-breachable walls and furniture. Also, be sure to keep to your role. If you're the guy with the planted nitro cell, make sure your area is being watched so you don't miss your cue to detonate. If you're playing Doc, make sure you're in an area where you can maintain line of sight to as many teammates as possible so you can heal them fast if they go down. Number 3, use complementary operators. Some operators work really well together. Taking Rook's body armor will help ensure a much more likely DBNO status so that Doc can get to you in time for the revive. As mentioned before, Mute and Bandit can operate with widespread camera drone denial area of effect setups. Some secondary gadgets can combine well with primaries too. Create a bottleneck by placing a deployable shield so that an assaulter is forced in a more narrow direction as they come through a door or around a corner, and have a well-placed gas charge from smoke waiting in the funneled position. Nitro cells also work well with smoke's gas charge to create very dangerous minefield sections of the map to pass through. Number 4, reinforced trapdoors. When defending an area that is vulnerable to overhead trapdoors, take a defender upstairs as soon as the round starts, and use one of your reinforced fortifications on the trapdoor panel instead of a wall. Only thermite will be able to get through it, and you'll now have sealed off the entryway from above to other breaching attempts. If you're unwilling to spend a reinforced panel on the trapdoor, at least place some barbed wire, shock wire, or a nitro cell under it to take care of anybody that does breach through it and lands below. Number 5, create ambushes. Don't rely on purely passive defense. Get creative. Have a roamer hide on the top floor if everyone else is on the bottom floor, or vice versa. Once the assaulters make contact with defenders on the bottom floor, they'll be so busy with your teammates that they'll never see you coming from the stairs above them. Try barricading yourself into a small side room that no one would go in, with line of sight from the cameras. Once inside, watch the camera feeds and wait for them to pass you. Rip down your own barricade and hit them from behind. Throw nitro cells and gas charges in devious spots that players won't notice. Up high or on the underside of the stairs that go up so that when they come down the other set, it detonates next to their head and they had no line of sight on it until it was too late. Also, don't be afraid to go outside once in a while. True, you'll make the other team aware of your presence when doing so, but you'll give them a new angle of attack to worry about. This works great for swatting people off of the rappel lines. Those are some of the top tips for surviving the beta this week. What other strategies can you come up with? Well, let me know down in the comments below, or come on over to the forum or subreddit and talk about it there. Be sure to like and subscribe if you want more tips and tricks for Siege, or to stay up to date on all the latest news and info. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time.